You know, I hunted in here a few days last year and did see deer just about every time I came in here. It just wasn't the buck I wanted to shoot. But you know what? It excites me when I find places like this that it's historically used year after year after year. And last year when I was in here and I was scouting, I could just kind of feel the size of these trails, and it looked so worn over the years, and it looked like historical sign. And I was right, because it's pretty much the same way this year. Well, when I find that historical sign, that really excites me, because I know the deers are at home and they stay for quite a while in that area. Now, it may not be the buck I want to shoot. It may not be, you know, something that I'm really get excited about, but it does tell me that the deers hang in there year after year. And then once you find that historical sign, then you can start breaking that you can start breaking that sign apart. Now, what we have here is just a big run that goes right around the side of this hill, and it's coming up out of this thicket. You can see this thicket behind me, and it's just really thick. Well, last year, since this was my first year hunting in here, I was sitting here probably the third day I was ever in here, the third day of bow season last year. And I came in here and I just sat up behind a tree. That's it. I just got up behind a tree because, you know, I was wanting to be immobile, and I didn't want to set a blind up yet, and I didn't really want to set a tree up yet. I just kind of wanted to watch. I wanted to kind of, you know, watch and see how the deer was moving. And the first deer I ever saw on this property come right around the side of this hill where this thick stuff is, and come right through here, and I could just see his body moving through here. I don't know what it was, a buck or a doe, but I just seen that deer move through there, and that was at 1 o'clock in the day. I stay here a little bit longer, and then here comes some more off of this way, you know, out of this way, and then some more come up out of this way. So 3 different places from this little place right here, I saw deer coming. Now, what that told me was that this area right here is a big cross trail. You'll have trails coming this way, you got trails coming this way, and you got a big main trail coming around that way. What these deers do is they get in these places. It's almost like a community hole. You know, it's almost like a community spot where they just all cross. Now, you can sit there and see a lot of deer and maybe shoot a doe or something for the freezer in places like that. But I really don't like places. I don't really like to sit up in places like that to hunt. And here's why. The more eyes and the more ears, and especially the more noses you have in that place, these community holes or that community cross trails, the more chances you take of the wind shifting the wrong way, just like that, maybe, you know, blowing the whole thing. And it don't take but one, you know. And so what I like to do is I like to kind of get off of that main sign and get into the places where them deers are headed from the community, you know, cross trails and the community hole, I call it, into these places where they're, you know, going, and they get off to theirself. Especially bucks, they'll get off to theirself. That's why these faint trails and this small sign that you've heard me talk about is so important, especially in the late season. So a lot of times I think that we get too caught up in all this big sign, and you see this big trail here like that one, and you see a big trail going around here, and you see, and you go, oh man, I'm going to set my tree stand right here. I'm going to set my blind right here. And then, you know, the second, third day in there after hunting it, you know, you get busted and it blows everything out of there, and then you got problems, you know, for a few days. So I like to get off of that sign and try to find where them deers are headed. You know, you notice I'm not going back here in this big thick stuff. I'm staying right on the outside edges. I'm finding this community sign, but then I'm going off and trying to find these little trails and this little faint sign to set up on. And when I come in here to hunt, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to find the faint sign and try to hunt that. Well, good morning. It has started finally, opening day of bow season. And I got in here quiet, sat down, didn't disturb nothing. The wind's good. Wind's going back that way. So everything's calm, and I seen some deer coming in this morning, and they jumped they come across the road and they come right down in where I'm at. So they're down in here somewhere. And then I seen about 5 or 6, like right around the curve from where I'm at, just like that curve right there. And then there was 2 or 3 just right here. They come right down in here. They didn't spook too bad. They just kind of walked across and just kind of muled on down here. So they're down in here somewhere. And so I know that there's some in this bottom where I'm at. Well, I'm not really in the bottom. I'm kind of up on a hill, up toward the top. You can see right there's the top of the hill where that skyline is, right back there. And so then I've got my other blind. I've got right down in the hole, the sinkhole down here. And I'm going to probably go there this evening if this wind stays like this. You know, where your sending thermals is going down. I'm going to get down in there because I've been seeing more evening movement there on my cameras and stuff than up here. I've been seeing more in the mornings up here. But it's kind of weird because here it is opening day, you know, first part of October. And honestly, the last few days, that they ain't been coming through real early. They've been coming through like at 10, 11, even 12 o'clock in the middle of the morning, midday, which is odd for, you know, being as warm as it has. So, yeah. But I'm hunting right on the outside of this thicket in this bedding area. I'm just right on the fringe of it, so they're just hanging in here and you know, feeding and sort of just milling around, bedding down right there. So it makes sense. But so I'm going to hang in here until at least a little bit afternoon, like 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock. Depends on if there's movement here. The does in here have got a lot of yearlings and fawns behind them. So shoot, there's a deer right there. There's a deer right here. Shot right there. Yeah, 8 yards. About 8 yards shot. She's right there. We're going down the hill now. If I wouldn't have been running the camera, if I just wanted to shoot something, man, I could have grabbed that bow right there. It's come right there. Well, she stopped right there in the open, about 7-8 yards. I could have shot right there and been done by 8:20. Anyway, what I was saying, there's a lot of them in here, half grown, and they got several big adult does, still got yearlings. I don't want nothing like that today, but there's a bunch of them deer in there, right like that right there, just about half grown. The bucks might come through here, so let's see what happens. One of them bucks I've been seeing. He's right up in that thicket right there. I think that's him. One of them. I see him up in there. My binoculars I see his legs and then I see part of his head. I'm pretty sure that's a buck. I think I seen an antler. He's just like right up in there in that thick stuff. That's the only problem about, you know, hunting right here on this outside fringe, because that's where the bucks is going to, you know, I mean, they have been coming out in here, and he may, but they're just going to stay up in that They're bedded up in there is what they're doing. It's a bedding area up in there. I still see the legs up there. That's him. That's one of them. That's a buck. I see his little antlers up there. There's 2 bucks that's been coming through here. I mean, you know, there's really nothing big in here, or at least that I've seen. I mean, this is not a place you come kill a big buck, but I take him. And there's him, and there's a spike-looking deer. He's been coming this way quite a bit, coming down to here. So he may come through here later. Like I said, they've been coming through here up in the mid-morning. It's it's 20 till 10 right now. But I can see him just kind of moving every once in a while up in there with these binoculars. That's why it's so important to have a good pair of binoculars in the early season like this. You know, you see legs and you pick stuff out, you know, sometimes up in there. And man, that's what makes it kind of hard hunting here, though. Where I'm setting at is the majority of them is going to hang right up in there in that bedding area. Because man, I mean, you go out here 30, 40 yards and you're just right in the thick stuff. So I bet that deer is just going to bed down up there for most of the day and just meal around, get up, meal around on these berries and acorns and stuff, and then just kind of lay back down until this evening. So that's why you got to be careful getting out of here when he's out of here, because they ain't very far. But yeah, he could get up and move this way too. You never know. I could kill her right there if I wanted to. About a 15-yard shot. Pretty good size deer. She's right behind the blind. I mean, right behind it. She's down in here now. She walked. I hear it stomping. Down in there. So she walked around the back door here, and she started getting a little bit nervous. But right there, she wasn't nervous right there. She was just right there. Hey, that's just one I killed that I didn't kill. Man, I seen it. Oh boy. Thought for a minute there it might be that buck. That goes to show you why that I put them rags out. I put them rags out for that reason. Straight downwind. And she didn't get nervous till she got right back here at the back door. Scrape juice, bowhunter's fatal obsession. It ain't just a good deer scent, it's a good cover scent. This is my second day sitting in this particular spot. I had to wait till the wind got right. The wind's been just totally blowing wrong direction for this spot here. This is where I was sitting a few days ago on opening day and saw them deer. I jumped one coming in. It looked like a small deer, you know, looked like a fawn. And but it's the wind is right finally. Going back this way, but whew, just been an east wind all week long. And when it's an east wind, it goes back that way, out through, you know, down and out through the hill down there where you think a deer's gonna come from. But I don't know. We're just sitting here this morning to see if anything shows up. We're gonna stay here at about 11:30, and then I got to go. I can't hunt all day, but I just thought we'd come up for a quick morning hunt. I know that one's a little spike. I don't know what, that's the only one I've seen with any antlers. I think them other two may be yearlings. I don't know. Don't make sense. Yearlings beat that spike, but about 20 yards right there. It's brushy. There's some deer over here across the road. It's been snorting for a while. I don't know what they're snorting at. They've been leave today. I'm gonna have to cut me a lane right up through there to shoot. That's about the second time I've had a deer come up right up in here, and I can't shoot. Which I probably wouldn't have shot them anyway, but if a buck was to come through there, it'd be hard for me to shoot up through there. I need to cut this. There's about 3 or 4 spots in there I need to cut out before I leave here. Because I don't want a buck to come through there and can't shoot. I mean, they's all in bow range. They's just right on the side there. So that would have been something I'd have wanted to shoot. You know, it would just come right here like this. Could have shot up right. If I could have shot up right through that, through there. But it has a little spike about like that. And the other two, I don't know what they were. They didn't look very big, whatever they was. So it's been hot since first day, and this is the first good cool morning we've had. 25th of October. We got about, let's see, a week before muzzleloading opens up. So, damn, we got a different story. It's a horse of a different color. So this time next Saturday, there'll be people across the road behind us over here, you know, be pushing the deer all day long. But we're just gonna let back here and see what happens on this nice October frosty morning. up for this evening. Saw 7 this morning total, and most of them came right back this way. So the wind shifted today though, and now it's going west. I mean straight west, not northwest, which is back behind us. It's going straight west. It's going right back this way. And I thought I'd come over here to this one. This is what I call the trail blind. It's got a big, huge run. Goes right below the blind here. And then we got some trails coming down parallel, both sides. They come down. And I've been getting them on camera here the last 2 or 3 days. And some of it's been evening time. And if we hunt up there in that blind, the wind's going to be going right that way. And as it cools down this evening, they're going to be dropping right off into the thicket down here where they're coming out of. That wouldn't be good. But it looks like the wind's going to shift here if the weather app's right and if they hit it right. It looks like here in about an hour or an hour, it looks like it's going to shift and go east or southeast. Boy, that ain't good, because it'd be going right down that way, right into the heart of that thicket. Yeah, so if it, I'm going to have to keep checking on the puffer here, but if it changes, we're going to have to bail out of this blind and go straight up there and get in that other one, because on the other one, it can go out that way, because which should be okay. I just had 2 come right there. I had my bow. I was trying to get this camera pointing out this window to my left or to my right. Man, them suckers come right there, and I'm trying to fool with this stupid camera. And they came right there. I mean, just right there. About 30 yards, and they was coming this way. My bow like this, and I thought they just gonna, because I thought they was gonna come right up this trail here, and I moved this camera a little bit because I had to get it out this window, because they was walking up this trail, and so I turned it like this, real easy. I was gonna point out this window so that I could. Wait, I was going to let them walk right there. 2 big does together. Boy, I'd have shot either one of them. They got right here, and they must have heard that sticky camera. They must have heard the tripod move or something. They looked up here. I had that bow like this. I've been waiting for 1 big doe or 2 like that that's just running together. It's about 30 yards out there, but they're both facing toward me. But they were acting like they was going to walk this trail, because they was on that trail. They was on that run. I thought they was going to walk right down through here. Boy, that would have been a 15-yard shot. His self-filming's crap. I suck at it. I'll tell you, y'all, I suck at it. Some guys can do it. I suck at it. Always have, and probably always will. I went out this morning and got this 8-point buck, bow season here, and he come into a grunt call. Actually, I think there was a doe that come through. I've seen her 3 or 4 times. She's by herself, big, huge doe, old. She kind of turned, and before she got up our broadside, she kind of turned and went back up through the brush. And so I hit that grunt call a couple times just to kind of play with her a little bit, just see if I get a reaction. And it wasn't no time. I look around, and this buck's coming right at me at 15 yards. I mean, he popped out right there at 15 yards. I don't know where he come from, but I think he was checking that doe out. I don't know if she was just starting to come in heat or what, but he had to be right close to her, and I just didn't see him. But he's a decent little buck, but shot was good. He went about 80 yards and piled up, and when I hit him, you know, he was just nose diving, and I knew he wasn't going to go far. He ran out there around the hill, and I didn't hear him go down, which was, you know, kind of odd. But I give him about 20-25 minutes, and just started tracking him, and he was laying there about 80 yards from me. Just a nice little respectable buck for this area, and just hunting a small piece of property here, about 20 acres, and just right outside of town limits actually. So a lot of deer in here, a lot of does, a lot of deer, overpopulated really. So, but anyway, I'm just fortunate that I got this buck on the ground, and it's my first kill with my Obsession kinetic. Shot real good. Like I said, the deer didn't go very far at all. I apologize, I didn't get it on film, but he was so close when he popped out, because he's 15 yards when he popped out on me, and I wasn't going to take a chance like I did the other day. I blowed a big chance the other day because I fiddled around with the camera and it messed everything up. So when he popped out, I just, you know, said forget it. But anyway, nice buck for the start of our season here, and we're going to get ready to get in the heart of the rut here, and muzzleload season, rifle season, my favorite time. So, but thankful for the Lord that He supplied this deer for me, and hopefully we'll get a big one here in a couple weeks when they really get to going good. So appreciate everybody joining me and following me along, but let's go get us another one. Make sure to subscribe to this video, hit that subscribe button, and we appreciate everybody that watches. Check out all our sponsors in the link below. Check out Obsession Bows, Tidewe. Shot this deer on my Tidewe blind. They make some great blinds, so go over there and make sure to check them out. The heated jackets, the heating clothing, cold weather's coming on, so make sure to get some of that stuff over at Tidewe.com. Just use the promo code DALE for even a better discount. And check out Scrape Juice and all the other fine sponsors in the links below. And make sure to join me on PayPal, Patreon, or you can become a $5 a month member if you want, and help us out so we can keep bringing more videos to you. And join me on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. But let's get this deer skinned out, and we'll go after another one here, and hopefully have a big deer here the next few weeks for you.